Welcome in, everybody, to another edition of Reality NSFW's coverage of Big Brother 23. I'm your host, Bobby Goodsby, along with my co-host each and every Wednesday, Brent Wolgamott. How are you doing, Brent?
I'm doing fabulous, and I'm also ready to rant about some bullshit because this episode was full of it. Boy, I tell you what, if Sunday's episode wasn't the real bullshit, this was the real bullshit. I honestly can't believe that they continued on with this complete horseshit narrative that Tiffany is the villain who's betraying the cookout, that she can't be trusted, that she doesn't understand Black culture, and that Xavier is this selfless human being who, like, everybody agreed. Xavier keeps saying in the diary room, everybody agreed on the plan. Everybody did not agree on the fucking plan. Do you know that? Like, are you like, I know, like, you got a job. I know you don't watch the feeds as much as you used to. Do you know that Xavier is outright spreading a Trump falsehood in the diary room, like fake news, and saying we all agreed on the plan? The three guys agreed on the fucking plan. You know, the three people who are important to Xavier. The three women, on the other hand, did not agree to said plan. So what the fuck is he talking about, and why is Big Brother running with this goddamn narrative?
Yeah, they're really bringing up the whole, well, Xavier's going to get revenge for this, terrible deed that Tiffany did. And they're really feeding us diary room lines of Tiffany that makes her look like the villain. They make her seem like, well, I did this for me because this is my plan, and my plan's what matters. This is what was going to happen for the women to begin with. They wanted it to go this way, and the men are the ones who were against it and were the ones who were wanting to go their way. So the fact that we're seeing one side and not both sides, and seeing how we should be seeing, hey, this is how the girls felt, this is how the guys felt, and this is what's happening. We're not getting that.
And it wasn't just Xavier, although I have plenty to say about him. It was also fucking Big D's tired old ass in the diary room doing the only thing he can fucking do. You know, when I was on Sequester season 4, I gave sassy confessionals too, but I still pulled my fucking weight in the goddamn game. I did shit out there. What the fuck has he done? Okay? What has he done? Nothing. Seriously, zero. Okay? He almost won the fucking veto competition tonight, and he bumped the goddamn table. Oh my God, I can't even with that. Anyway, point being that he was in the diary room. I don't know how many times in the diary room, or they showed on camera him saying, I'm really nervous that Tiffany isn't going to go with the culture and is not going to nominate Claire. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't trust Tiffany. You know, she's playing her own game. And I'm like, and look what happened. Tiff went and did what needed to be done for the cookout. She went and did it. No questions asked. She really didn't give it a second thought from my perspective. She was just like, Claire's got to go up. Like they were literally nervousing about fucking nothing, but yet they made it look like a real possibility. The only real possibility was Xavier putting his interest above the cookout. That's the only real possibility that happened this week. Tiffany never, ever once put her own desires ahead of the cookout. She was in with the cookout for the long haul, even if it gets her 6th place. She said so this week. If you haven't been watching the feeds, she realizes this move fucking sucks for her game. She gets it. Her morals are important to her. She wants to make sure that the cookout gets to the final 6. She basically told Claire as much as they said she could. I think she could have told her everything, but we'll get into that later. Xavier, on the other hand, like he is openly plotting against. Now he somehow in winning HOH and nominating her best friend Claire for the cookout, Tiffany has betrayed the cookout. So now Big D and Xavier are plotting to keep Alyssa at the final 7 and get rid of Tiffany if they possibly can. Now, do I think it will happen? No, I don't think it will happen unless Alyssa wins veto or HOH. But it's a possibility, and they're openly discussing it. So again, the only people that have betrayed the cookout and have betrayed the culture, from my perspective, and I'm not even qualified to talk about the culture, but from my perspective, watching the show, is Xavier. Yeah, that's the real tea.
And Tiffany could have easily pulled the trigger and done what was better for her game by keeping Claire this week. But no, she went with what the plan was for the 6. She did what she had to do, which was, stab her best friend in the back and get rid of her, essentially to further a cause that she feels is near and dear to her heart. And it's still not enough for these guys. It's still like she was one who messed up at the beginning of the week, and she shouldn't have ever put herself in this position to begin with. Which at the whole time, she's doing what's best for them. It makes no sense.
I know. It's frustrating because we all have watched the live feeds, and if you haven't watched the live feeds, you've been keeping up with the recaps, you've been reading the blogs. We know what the fuck happened. You watch Twitter, you read Twitter. I mean, we know what the fuck happened. There was no agreed upon plan for Claire to be the nominee this week. That was Xavier's plan. And boy, he is a whiny little bitch when he doesn't get what he wants. And I own the fact that I can be a little whiny when I don't get what I want, but goddamn, own your fucking shit. It just really pisses me off that he acts all high and mighty, like he's been sacrificing. I listened to Taryn, I think it was today, maybe it was yesterday. I was the round table. I can't remember. Amon, by the way, honey, love you on the round table on Tuesday nights. I don't know why they don't make you the third member of the round table. But again, who the fuck am I? I was only there for 6 years. Anyway, that was really, really special watching Taryn and Melissa and Amon recount Xavier's grand contributions to the goddamn cookout. He literally couldn't even control the one person he was supposed to control, Christian, in week 4, and almost gave up a member of the cookout in Hannah before Hannah herself reeled it back in. He did the house's bidding in week 3, but aside from that, he's literally done nothing. He's thrown competitions left and right, has whined whenever people have taken any one of his pieces out along the way. It's just frustrating to me that somehow the show, again, I will say this, the show is trying, and the cast is succeeding in rectifying the horrible consistency of racism, as Claire said, throughout the history of Big Brother. But what the show has not done is when you strike down one demon head, the other demon head pops up, and it almost feels like to me that the producers have embraced sexism over racism now, because they're giving all of the great false diary rooms to the men, particularly Xavier and Big D, and they're making the women, particularly Tiffany, look like the villains in the story when we know that the opposite is true. Now, is it true that Tiffany was trying to win HOH to protect Claire? That is true, okay? But she was never trying to win HOH to protect Claire over the cookout. That is not true, even though the show tried to make it seem like it was true, okay? That is the real tea. Secondly, Xavier, what does he want to have happen? Does he want to keep Alyssa over any member of the cookout, specifically Tiffany? Yes, he is openly contemplating that. He is discussing it with Big D. It is a real possibility at this point, and I wouldn't trust him if he somehow won HOH. He says he's not going to compete for it, but who the fuck knows? You never know what kind of they could have it roll a ball down a thing and land in a goddamn number, and he could somehow win. You never know with these things. Yeah. So I'm very frustrated with the show's embrace of, like, let's give all the male characters, they must be the heroes of the story, and the women can't possibly, when literally everybody in the social media universe is rooting for Tiffany and Hannah and Azza in that order. Like, it's like they're number 1, 2, and 3, and the guys are like numbers 8, 9, and 10 on the ranking scale. Like, it's not even fucking close. Okay, I'm done with the rant. Let's move on to something.
And we have Diana here. I bet they think the men will win, and so they're protecting them in the edit. I honestly kind of feel that way too. I kind of feel like they're protecting the men because they think one of the men is going to be the winner. And that's unfortunate to see, because they should be playing it exactly how we're seeing it on the live feeds. They should be showing both sides and showing exactly where the edit should be going. They shouldn't be giving us this false narrative of something that maybe they're just wanting to protect because they think the winner is going to come from that angle. I do agree with that point.
Yeah, and I understand that they have to make a call, but this is just it is. I'm trying to think of another show where it literally. I mean, that was Big Brother Canada 6, where what you're seeing on the show is based in fake news. This shit did not fucking happen. I know Xavier is preaching it as gospel, but it did not happen. That is not the way it went down. Not even close. And the fact that he's saying it with a certainty, and then he's acting like, oh, I'm the benevolent one. I have sacrificed for the cookout. You've done what everybody else in the cookout has done. You've gotten rid of your people. And you're the luckiest motherfucker at this point because your girl, Alyssa, won the veto. I thought he said he threw it to her. He didn't throw shit. He tried to win that veto. She won it outright. Let's be clear about that. She won the goddamn veto. He didn't throw shit to her. And then after that, Tiffany does what needs to be done and puts up Claire. No questions asked. That's what happened from my perspective. And but to hear Xavier and Big D tell it, oh, we don't trust Tiffany. I don't think she believes in the culture. Oh my God. And it's absolute horseshit because that's not true.
Yeah.
Tiffany has sacrificed her game for the culture. Point blank in the period.
Partly Cloudy asks, if Alyssa gets to the final two, should the cookout be should hold true to the deal of voting only black winner? I think that they will stay true to that no matter what. I think even if people get backstabbed, I still think that they will vote for a black winner over Alyssa because they have a bigger goal in mind than just the fact that they possibly got backstabbed. I think that they know what the end agenda has to be, regardless of who gets there. Brent, what do you think?
So I was taught this a while ago. Probably should have learned it earlier, but I said as my friend would say, that's bad black people's business. Like that, I'm not going to make a call about what the cookout should do. That's
True.
for them to decide. I can tell you what they will do from my perspective as a feed watcher. They're going to crown a black winner. That's what they're going to do because they've come too fucking far. In fact, I would actually be annoyed if they didn't, because even if Alyssa comped out and, beasted her way to the end and proved what a gamer she is, and she's sitting next to goddamn Big D. Oh my. I mean, to come this far and then somehow crown Alyssa as the winner, I didn't even know what. Yeah, I can't even entertain the possibility. Go ahead.
Then they're just falling into what every other season has done. And their whole agenda this season is to be the season that is above that and actually has a goal in mind to allow one of their own to be a winner of this game and have the first African-American winner come from their season. So regardless if it's Big D against Alyssa, and Alyssa beasted her way to the end, Big D's winning that thing if they have anything to do with it, hands down.
And that's sad to say. I see Mary saying Alyssa should win over Big D. And you know what? In an ideal world, you're probably right. But there are things at play here that are bigger than the game that we're witnessing at hand. We're also confronting 23 seasons of racism on Big Brother. I know that some of you out there think it isn't a big deal. There are other people out there who think that it doesn't get enough attention. I'm basically somewhere in the middle. I feel like the show has to confront this. I was really glad, just to jump to the end of the episode, that they included what Claire said in the diary room. Claire, oh my God, at one point I don't have to rant about something, because Claire she was so much better than I ever could have been. She was so earnest and so empathic and so sensitive. And given what a gamer that she is, I never would have guessed that from her. But she was so beautiful in the diary room, and they aired it hook, line, and sinker. I couldn't even fight Tiffany on this, she says, because I understand what she's confronting. She's confronting the fact that in the past, Black people have been put up against each other on the block and have taken each other out, and her morals don't allow her to be a part of that. Now, we can get into the whole, not telling her about the exact alliance, the cookout, lying and saying I'm not a part of an alliance. But Claire was she was so great in this. And I also will say one more thing while I'm thinking about it. I've seen so many people on social media, I almost tweeted this, but I didn't know how to really say it. I've seen so many people say, oh, I wish Claire gets another chance because in another season, she'd be amazing. And she is an amazing woman, no doubt. But honestly, I'm kind of I want Tiffany to get another chance. I don't envy Tiffany right now. She's having to carry 23 seasons of racism on her fucking back as the HOH and put her best friend up on the block simply because she's not a member of the goddamn cookout. That's the tea. That's what she did. Okay. And so if she has another opportunity to play again, I would love to see it for Tiffany's sake, just to not have to deal with this kind of thing hanging over her. By then, they'll have crowned the first Black winner, a Big Brother, and it won't be a thing in the future for the show. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I agree with you. I think that there's so many other people from the season that I'd rather see back before Claire. And don't get me wrong, I love Claire. I think that she was
she's passive.
She was a follower a little bit in this season. She really was led it's sad to say, like a sheep led to slaughter, because Tiffany had this other agenda, that she wanted to pursue. She always had Tiffany's back, and she thought they were final two. So I get where her motivation was coming, but she really just followed Tiffany's lead.
She did. And if you don't believe that, you need to look no further than the fucking coin of destiny.
100%. Yeah.
Because like she had every opportunity to do what she wanted. Then she could have kept that a secret. She didn't have to tell anybody. And goddamn, she played that so fucking bad. She knew the settings. If she doesn't take Sarah Beth out there, then when Tiffany wins HOH this week, Xavier's probably gone. Alyssa and Sarah Beth are in the game. There's two options. So Claire is still in the game and has a real shot to get to the end with Tiffany.
Absolutely.
And it's totally frustrating.
And I also think, like I said, I think there's people ahead of her by a lot from the season. I would say Derek X, Tiffany. I think there's a bunch of people, maybe even Christian, because of what he did in competitions. I just think that there's a bunch of people way ahead of her in this list to get further and possibly come back and play again. Now, back to your point, I thought Claire was absolutely amazing in that diary room. I think she said, and it felt genuine. Like she said exactly what was in her heart. And it wasn't something that was just forced, where we see a lot of forced diary rooms coming from Big Brother every single season. This felt genuine. This felt like something near and dear to her heart, where she's not bitter. She holds no ill will against Tiffany. Of course, she would love to stay and play the game, but she knows that Tiffany is doing this because she has to, because this is what she needs to do for her personal game, but also for what's best in her heart and what she feels strongly about. And she knows that she really can't say anything against that. And I love that.
I know.
Claire.
Yeah.
I think that was amazing. And I really give her kudos for saying it so eloquently that she said exactly from the heart. Yeah, I know. I'm totally botched that word.
That's okay. Like chat, help me out. I know on reality
elegantly.
TV. Who said eloquently? Somebody in reality TV.
Probably Derek F.
It wasn't Derek F,
No,
but it should have been.
But he botches everything else.
Like it was. Who said eloquent? Eloquent. Somebody said that on reality TV. I know, because when you said it, like instantly sent me back to something.
I can say it, guys.
The chat can help me out, but oh my god, that would have cracked me up.
All right, come for me on the comments. I don't care. But yeah, no, I thought it was amazing, and I still, going back to Derek F, I love that he still cannot say I vote to evict. It's like, if Julie Chen doesn't bring that up at the finale, like, and they show all the clips of him not being able to say that, I'll be very disappointed.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah,
like,
I know, right?
Smash him for this.
Yeah, I know. And like, I would at least have some fun at his expense, because he's been having lots of fun at other people's expense. Let's be real.
Give us something, because that would be fantastic.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the fucking episode. Let's talk about the Zanes. Let's talk about everything. I've already ranted about Xavier and his bullshit diary room. So like, we gotta basically, like, that was like half the show. So we're almost there.
Yeah. So basically, we've already covered how X was planning to overthrow Tiffany's plans this week. That if he had anything to do with it, he was going to take Alyssa off the block, even if he won, to really make Tiffany have to choose between her alliance or Claire. And that didn't happen. We get to the veto draw, and we see Azza, Derek F, and who was the other person? Oh, Hannah get picked for the competition.
Yeah. Can we just talk about that? Like, I did not get, and maybe I missed this because, again, like, Saturday is my worst day because I'm working like day and night basically. But I did not understand why Tiffany picked Hannah rather than Claire. Like, at least give Claire a chance. Maybe, like, I mean, maybe she thinks Hannah's a better competitor, but like, if you don't want to have to be accused of backdooring Claire, which is what happened this week because Claire did not get a chance to play for the veto, then give her a chance to play for the fucking veto. Like, that's what I would have done if I was Tiffany. I don't understand why she didn't pick Claire when she had house guest choice, but whatever. Those are the players for the veto. Kylan and Claire are left out of the game, so they have to be the ones that pretend to be shocked when the 6 people disappear because the fucking Zingbot walks in and miniaturizes everybody. We've seen this competition before.
And before we get to that, I almost forgot one of the highlights from the episode.
Yes.
All the songs that Ozza, Derek F., all the songs that they sing.
I couldn't remember if that came before or after, but go ahead. Yes.
It was before. So one of the songs was Take Your Ass Home. Do What You Gotta Do was another one. I didn't write down the rest.
The Big Blue Couch or something like that. Yeah.
What were your thoughts on their songs?
I mean,
the fact that the show went so big with the editing for this segment.
Right. This is what I could say. Look, girl, Black people can sing. I'm sorry. This is 23 seasons of Big Brother, and this is the best shit we've ever. Because remember, you can't use copyrighted music, so you can't use something else that other people have written. So you basically have to make up your own music on the spot, make up your own lyrics, make up your own harmony or melody or whatever, and create a song without the ability to write things down on paper. And yet they fucking did it. And not just they just do it once, they did it like multiple times with multiple songs. Now, some of them were better than others, let's be real. But, like, I just the fact that they got one of these songs done with lyrics and everything, even if it only went on for, like 4 fucking stanzas before I had to repeat or something, I thought was pretty spectacular. I see Chevy in the chat. It's like, nah, that was a stupid segment. But, like, I needed a little... Yeah, girl, can't even spell stupid. I really did love this segment. It was a lot of fun. I needed because I knew what was coming. I needed to laugh a little tonight. So I was here for the zings, even if they were a little pathetic. And I really liked the little segment.
I will say this. It was fun, but I didn't think any of the songs were that good.
Really? Okay. You're such a hater.
Well, they didn't even I feel like they were all like kind of half doing it. Like no one fully committed to it. No one fully committed to the. I mean, okay, maybe Ozza at the beginning, but
Ozza was doing it, yeah.
Besides that, everyone else was just kind of like going along with it, clapping their hands and singing. I don't know. I felt like someone definitely led the charge on that, and everyone else was just following suit because they didn't want to be the person that didn't go along with it.
I concur.
Big D in the diary room. I'm sorry. He does not have a chance doing the commercials for songs or
no. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, but picking him to do all that, I don't know who they would have picked, but like Big D can be very funny in the diary room, but not when he's being fed lines from Big Brother. That wasn't a lot of fun.
Bobby Cowell, that's 100% true. I did not like it. You were awful. No, but Big D getting down low for his "Take Your Ass Home" song. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, who knew he had to do? Get all the way down like that.
Yeah, here's the thing. I hope you guys are with me on this. I want a member of the Cookout to win. Like at this point, again, we've come too far. I don't want it to like just fall apart after we've had to it's gotten a little predictable. So I kind of want it to be. I want them to accomplish something. I want them to get to the end and crown a Black winner. That's what I want them to do. They've been working for it all season. God damn it. I want them to do it. Having said that, I really don't want it to be Big D. I'd rather it be Xavier over Big D. And I know we're not living for Xavier right now. And he's on my shit list. I mean, I'm with you guys on that, but it's got to be Xavier over Big D. We all 100%. Have to agree on that.
100%. And also I will say this about the songs. I might not like them because I am biased towards Justin's pizza song and Tom Green's coffee song. Those were phenomenal. I thought those were great. So
yeah, those were awesome. They had soul. I like it. Yeah.
All right. So next, we went through the veto draw. Before we get to the Zingbot, let me take a quick commercial break, and then we will get into all the zings everyone was looking forward to all year long. We'll be right back.
Lucy Nicotine is a company founded by Caltech scientists and former smokers looking for a better and cleaner nicotine alternative. Finally, tobacco alternatives that don't suck.
Researched and developed for 3 years to be made for people, not patients. Lucy has created a nicotine gum with 4 milligrams of nicotine that comes in 3 flavors: wintergreen, cinnamon, and pomegranate. Lucy also has a lozenge with 4 milligrams of nicotine in cherry ice flavor. Each and every flavor actually tastes great, and it's convenient and discreet. Products can be enjoyed anywhere, on flights, at work, on the go, or even in the gym.
I am so happy that Lucy is sponsoring us. Ever since they came on board, I have gotten no less than 5 of my friends transitioned over to Lucy and put their cigarettes down. They like the gum. I'm used to seeing the packages all around. This stuff is great, and it's really helping people make much healthier choices. So get on board and join the Lucy movement.
Hey, it's 2021. Get rid of your cigarettes, unplug your vape, throw out your dip, and get some Lucy nicotine gum or lozenges. This is the real deal. A subscription to Lucy comes directly to your door each month. It's so simple that you don't even have to leave your house because Lucy has delivery down.
Reality NSFW listeners, go to lucy.co and use promo code SURVIVOR to get 20% off all products, including gum or lozenges. That's lucy.co and use promo code SURVIVOR at checkout. Also, I have to give this disclaimer. Warning, this product contains nicotine derived from tobacco. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. That's lucy.co, and be sure to use that promo code SURVIVOR.
This episode of Reality NSFW is sponsored by Blue Chew. Say it with us, Blue Chew. Blue Chew is making waves and bringing more confidence to the bedroom by offering chewable tablets that can help men get stronger and longer lasting erections. That's right, we're giving away super hard dicks.
Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew's tablets help men achieve harder, stronger erections to combat all forms of ED.
Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor offices, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. And it ships right to your door in a discreet package. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. And the best part, it's all done online.
Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient and strength for your prescription. Don't like swallowing pills? No problem here. Blue Chew's sildenafil and tadalafil tablets are chewable. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy.
Hey, if you're looking to give that immunity idol to someone, or you don't want to be voted out of a crater, don't worry, Blue Chew's got you covered. So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information.
And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use promo code SURVIVOR at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's Blue Chew, BlueChew.com, promo code SURVIVOR to receive your first month free. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
All right, welcome back to the episode recap. Let's get into the Zingbot joining us once again. Zing! And gracing us with his presence. Brent, I need to know how you feel about the Zingbot. After all these years, all the Zings, are you still on the Zingbot bandwagon, or has that train long left the road?
I mean, I don't know that the train has left the road. The tracks, whatever.
The tracks, yeah.
Yeah. I just think that the people who are writing the zings for the Zingbot are not the same people who were writing the zings for the Zingbot in years past. And like the zings in the past used to be so much more cutting. And it's really frustrating watching these lame ass zings. Like the thing about the zings is that like for 2/3 of them, I could finish the zing before he got to the punchline. When he said the thing about, I've been doing this for 10 years and it's 10 years old. You know what? And it's never gotten old. You know what has got old? And I'm like, oh, here we go. I wonder what he's going to say. Yeah. And he said, Tiffany, it's just lame. Hannah Who was lame. I mean, if anybody should have gotten that, it should have been somebody else like Big D. But of course, like they love their Big D, so they can't do that to him. What did they say about Big D? Like
my feed cut out.
It needed. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You told me. Yeah, I'm sorry. Big D. Let me think. So Big D, the thing they said to Alyssa was the dim thing, the fact that she's from Miami or from Florida, it's so bright, and that's just ironic because she's so dim. And then he had to clarify it for her dumb ass, where she was like, "What? I don't know. Was he calling me dumb? Yeah, bitch, he's calling you dumb." Anyway,
I agree with
don't
Heather
know.
Rogers. Bring back Kathy Griffin. Do
Yeah.
it. She at least got to the core. Of people.
She got exactly. Like the zings in the past they were so good. And I'm not one of these people, like, they're people who are like always like, I want to bring back the kiwi. Oh, why can't we bring back the kiwi? Like, things don't always have to be as they were, okay?
Yeah.
But the zings were awesome because they cut so close to the house guests, but didn't go over the line. They marched up to the line, but they didn't go over the line. That crack that Zingbot took about Cody and Christine and Big Brother 16, like, oh my God. Like when he said that and the house guests just went, whoo, like, like when you've been cuddling with Christine, but you know who's not going to like it? Her husband or something or whatever like that. That was a window into the soul of America and thus the house. And I think that that's what's missing from the zings, is that we don't have that now. All of the zings are so fucking superficial. There's nothing that's really cutting. Everything's so cut and paste. And of course, the Zingbot was socially distanced, and I get all that, but that literally had nothing to do with the quality of his zings. Like, he was still right there. And yeah, it frustrates me because this is such a great part of the show. You could see how excited the house guests get about it. They're so excited. Like, you heard Hannah was talking about, oh my God, it's like I'm going to see Barack Obama. Oh my God, Barack Obama or the Zingbot. I don't know which one I would pick. Yeah, girl. Anyway.
Maybe that's why I feel it's been played out. It's just because the zings have just not been there. Like, I agree with you. And I think that was the Kathy Griffin year. Heather says it was. That in season 16 when Zingbot absolutely smashed her. So he just annihilated everything that the fans were feeling
yes,
at that time.
That's our one time. Give us that. I'm sorry. I think the producers are like, well, we don't want to influence the game. But you know what? You're the fucking producers and you influence the game all the time anyway. Give us what we want. We want you to zing the fucking house guests for what they deserve. Zing fucking Big D for laying around on the goddamn couches all the time. That's what we wanted. We wanted you to zing him for being so fucking lazy. And the fact it's not just the fact that he's lazy. That'd be fine because I'm kind of lazy. It's all cool. But the fact that he's lazy combined with thinking that he does everything for this alliance. Again,
and I agree with Emmy. I think Obama could come up with better material. Like, the Zingbot writing is just not on point anymore, and it's not. And maybe that's why I feel like it's played out. I feel like it's just lazy. It's lazy. It's boring, and it's predictable.
Yeah, but it's not fun. It's like patty cake kind of patty cake. What I think patty cack. Oh my God,
we're both off today on
patty cock. But no, I know, right? Patty cake kind of zings. It's not the real thing. It's fake imitation zings. That's what we're getting now.
All right. So let's get past the Zingbot. There was really no good zings to really talk about. So let's get into the competition. We saw this competition last year in All Stars, where it's the tiny cocktails, and I absolutely love this competition. I think it's a fantastic competition. I think that, yeah, exactly. I think it really opens up for anyone to be able to win this. I mean, tonight we saw Alyssa. It was basically Alyssa versus the house.
Big D almost won.
Maybe Xavier. Yeah, and Big D. Anyone could win. If Big D can almost win a competition, you know it's fair for everyone. So outside of a trivia question kind of competition, I feel like this is the next best thing. And I love that we have this for a veto competition. What are your thoughts?
I do like this for a competition. I think it's very interesting, like the size. Like I know it's like them inside a fucking box, and I know that's what it is. But when they're inside the box and you see them there at the bar and they're trying to pick up the drinks, and they're these massive people, like it's so funny. It just cracks me up. Yeah, it's very good. I loved this competition. I also love like some of the lines about the fact that some of them did not have steady hands. Hannah was talking about the fact that, I've always wanted to be a surgeon, but this is Hannah in like when she's Oh my god, this is my steak knife from before.
I'm
but
very
what-
scared
I
while
know,
you
right?
have that next
I
to
know,
you.
right? I had my meal right here. I just like, oh, that's cool. I can make a joke about the steak knife. But yeah, that was very funny. The fact that Xavier's first of all, I thought I thought Alyssa was gonna get it on the first try. I thought she was just gonna go whoop and go, and she almost did. Like she almost fucking ran right up and just got it on the first try. But then, like, she had to start over so many times. Like, you know, she could have been forgiven for just being fucking frustrated and being fucking done with it. But I love the fact that, man, like she won that, and it resulted. The hilarious part. I think we all wanted this. We all kind of wanted Alyssa to win the veto because I think in our heart of hearts, we did not think that Tiffany would put up Claire. I honestly didn't think she would. I thought this is what we want. Tiffany won't put up Claire. She'll put up Big D, and then we can get Xavier out, and now a game will start. But instead, she's got a bigger heart than I have because she put up Claire, and you know, and then of course Xavier had to have buy-in over how Tiffany was gonna tell Claire, which made me fucking gag. Also, seeing Xavier in the diary room after Alyssa wins, being so gleeful that Tiffany now is fucked no matter what she does, when Tiffany has literally been sacrificing for the cookout, has been doing things, has won HOHs back to back. What have you done, X? You've done bub kiss besides one HOH win where you got out the house target. Congratulations. Frustrating.
Yeah. So we know that Alyssa goes on to win the veto. She's obviously going to take herself off the block. When we see Hannah and Tiffany talking, and Tiffany's trying to reason how she can talk to Claire and explain why she is making the move she's going to make, they bring up the fact that she was going to tell them that she made a decision to go along with these other people in the house, namely Xavier, Big D, Kylan, that she wouldn't nominate him this week. And then Hannah goes and tells the guys about this, and the guys are very much so, no, we want to protect our game because we don't want Alyssa to find out next week that, oh, we had anything going on with you guys. What were your thoughts on that? Because I feel like
so fucking frustrated. First of all, here's the thing. From Xavier's perspective, this is the one time in the show I'll give him a pass. From Xavier's perspective, I get it. Mm-hmm. I understand why he's trying to guilt them. Don't tell them about the cookout. We don't want Alyssa to find out about the cookout. She's still here. What I don't understand is Tiffany and Azza and Hannah, and frankly, the other two guys going along with this.
Yes.
I don't understand. If I were them, I'd be like, fuck Xavier. Like, it doesn't matter if Alyssa wins HOH, because Claire's going to be gone. If Alyssa wins HOH or veto next week, she's safe. If she doesn't win, she's out. And if she wins, she can only put up members of the cookout. What does it matter then? Let's sit her down like Brittany with the brigade and fucking tell her what the fuck's going on. Let's give her that decency. But instead, he won't do it. Now, again, I get why he won't do it, because if she's pissed, now all of a sudden the bond that they have, she might actually put him up, because she has talked about that in the past. She knows she can't beat Xavier. She might actually put Xavier up if she thinks that everybody's against her at this point. Might as well get out the biggest target. But from everybody else's perspective, I don't understand why they went along with this. I don't understand how Tiffany got cowed into doing it this way by not telling Claire about the cookout. She should have just brought up Alyssa. In fact, you know what? She should have brought everybody up and said, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm going to tell everybody, you better get on board or get out of the fucking way, because I'm doing this. I'm going to own our shit. This is for us. I'm going to tell Claire I'm putting her up on the block and we're voting her out. And we're going to tell Alyssa, girl, you better comp out, because if you don't, you're out. Like, let's tell them about the fucking cookout. They would have been pissed at first, like Claire was, but they would have immediately taken it with grace and understood. Everything would have been fine. But instead, Xavier's got to have it his way, whines about it. It's all about how he does it. Again, I said I understand why Xavier's doing this. I get it. But the fact that they're allowing him to dictate how everything should go in Tiffany's HOH, it just is so frustrating. Why are you deferring to this guy?
Well, why isn't the edit also playing true to the same narrative that they're giving Tiffany for furthering her own best interests? Why aren't they absolutely annihilating X in this situation when he's clearly trying to do the same exact thing, furthering his own best interests in not telling Alyssa? Like, this is this is where I'm very frustrated with the edit. If you're going to have your cake and eat it too, you got to show both sides. You got to show, okay, this is how Tiffany's being selfish and this is how X is being selfish. You're not showing it all.
But they never,
why that's the case.
Yeah, they never do a good job with a balanced show. Like, let's be honest about that. The show just doesn't do a good job. When it's got to have a hero and a villain. And right now, Tiffany's the villain and X is the hero from their perspective. We know that's not the case, but they don't do very good when it comes to gray, Bobby. They do good when it comes to black and white. And they're trying to make it black and white when really it's a much grayer story than what they're giving it credit for.
But at the same time, they're also been riding the Tiffany train all season, really hyping
right?
her up
And then
as
just
being
out
a
of
player,
nowhere, they've
now
been
all of a sudden
stringing
she's
her up.
the bad guy.
Yeah, I know, right? That's I don't get. And the fans have not turned on her. The fans have not turned on Tiffany. We're still behind her. We understand why the fuck she had to put up Claire. We're still fucking behind her. We still want, most of us still want her to win. And yet the show seems to have deserted her and made her look like the bad guy. And it's not the case. I don't get that editing. I really don't. It's a choice on their part. But the worst part about it is that it's false. It's not that they made a choice. It's that they made a choice to deliberately go with what is narratively false diary rooms from Xavier, which are not based in reality. They are not true. I don't know. Listening to Xavier this week, I think he actually believes his own delusions. Don't you guys? Because he says this to Big D, he says it to Kai, he's even said it to Hannah. He said it to us and through the camera. I think at one point he even said, if she tells Alyssa about the cookout, just send me the fuck home. Just send me the fuck home. It's because he doesn't want to have to confront the fact that he's been lying to Alyssa all year long. But you know what? Be a fucking man, own your shit, and go out there and own it and tell her about the fucking cookout. I know she would get it. I know she would. It's just frustrating, man. It really is. I can't with him right now. I'm sure I'll get over it, but I can't. Xavier's just he's on every fan's last nerve.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we get past that segment where we get to Tiff finally sitting down with Claire to break down the news that she is going to be putting her on the block. Now, we talked a lot about this earlier, but we talked more so about Claire's reaction and her excellent commentary in the diary room about the situation. How do you feel Tiffany did in her approach to telling Claire why she is doing this, how she's going to do it, and what it's been for?
I felt like she did okay. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't understand why she's letting Xavier dictate how she does this. So why didn't she tell Claire about the cookout? But let's just set that aside for a second. The fact that she's like, look, I don't want to put up Xavier or Big D or Kyland or Azza or Chada. It's just like, why are we beating around the bush? I don't want to put up two black players against each other. I don't want to be that HOH. I don't want to put two people of color against each other. I'm not going to do it. I just feel like I would have appreciated a more substantive, not substantive, that's not the right word, a more direct way of saying something like that. That would have made me really happy because that's what's going on. I feel like the show is shying away from that. They keep trying to say the cookout, when the whole point of the cookout is to crown a black winner. That's the point of the cookout. It's not just like these people randomly got together and said, let's work together. There's a reason that they are working together because they have a common goal. Understand? Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Sorry for the dog barking in the background. I agree. I think that where she messed up was she shouldn't have, and not saying she messed up, that's probably the bad way of putting it. How I would have approached it differently, because I think that the fact that she didn't just get to the point and be like, listen, this is what it is. This is why I'm doing this. She kind of was almost beating around the bush, being like, well, I can't put up this person. I can't put up that person. Even Claire was a little confused in that moment.
Right?
She was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And it didn't trigger in her head.
It didn't trigger,
It was going to be her going up.
Oh, me? You're putting up me?
Yeah. Then she instantly was like, but I'm going to go home. And then I feel like it processed. And I'm not saying there's a right or wrong way to do this. I just feel like you at least owe Claire that respect, who's had your back the whole game. Just be like, listen, this is what's been going on. This is what I'm doing this for. I love you, but I have to do this. And she did do that towards the end. But at the beginning, I just felt like, just get to it.
Yeah, and also like the fact when Claire said, are you in an alliance with them? And there was a long beat. And then Tiffany said, no, like, girl, come on. Like, what? You're just saying gonna put him up, but you're not in an alliance with them? Okay, whatever. Like, Claire is so benevolent and so kind. I'm sure that she said she's still gonna fight for Tiffany if she goes out this week, and I'm sure she will. Let's hope. You know what? Let's hope she has the chance to fight for Tiffany, because the way things are going right now, it does not look good for Miss Tiff on down the road. Like, Tiffany, again, as I said earlier in the podcast, Tiffany's well aware of the fact that she is shooting her own game in the foot for the goal of the cookout, for the culture, for the mission. That's what she's doing. Okay? Period. End of story. And she's just going to own her shit and said, you know what? This is the bet I made. I committed myself to the cookout, and I'm going to follow that through. And it just sucks because from my perspective, she's in danger going into the double eviction tomorrow. So the double eviction is tomorrow. I am of the opinion that if Alyssa does not win HOH or veto, that she will go home. Even if, like, Xavier somehow wins HOH or Big D wins HOH, I do not believe that they will try to get rid of Tiffany before Alyssa, if Alyssa is available to be nominated. Okay. Having said that, if Alyssa wins HOH, I think Tiffany's done. Unless Tiffany wins the veto. If Alyssa wins veto, it depends on who the HOH is, but I think Tiffany's in danger, in terrible danger, but not clear danger. There's still a chance she could survive that. Just depends on who's HOH and who's actually voting. So, if we had to, let's just put Alyssa out of this. So let's just say she wins veto. Okay, she doesn't even win HOH. What are the people you think are in the most danger from the cookout? In order. I think Tiffany is in the most danger.
Correct. I agree.
Then Kyland. And I would Kyland and Xavier are probably right together, because there are scenarios where both could go home. And then Azza, and then I think Big D is unfortunately at the bottom of the list. I don't really think there's a scenario that Big D will go home. But we can hope.
I highly doubt Azza or Big D are even going to be thought of as a possible person to go home. I think Hannah, there's a little something there, but it's going to take a lot for that to happen. And I don't even think it's really, really ever a chance. But I do agree with you. I think it's I actually would say more X and definitely Tiffany. Tiffany is at the top of the list just because of what's happened this week, and it's really unfortunate, right? Especially one of the guys gets power. I think that she's really going to be in some trouble, and who knows, maybe we'll see one of these guys pull the trigger on the first backstab. And
I mean, yeah, I will say this: if Xavier or some Big D tries to get cute and throws the veto to Alyssa, if there is a woman HOH, then I think that they'll all hell will break loose. They cannot be seen as helping Alyssa win something. If they do, I don't think this will hold. I really don't. Xavier says he's not going to compete for HOH. He says he will compete for veto, but at first he said he wasn't going to compete for HOH or veto. And now he's saying to Azza that he will compete for veto, even though he doesn't really want to. A lot of things happened today. So Azza had a discussion with Xavier about the fact that, like I said, he needs to compete. And it was actually, Xavier at first was saying, like, I don't really want to compete. I don't want to win HOH and I don't want to win veto. And she was like trying to get him to understand, like, you need to compete because we need to complete the mission. And he like grudgingly went along with it. Then Azza had a big day. She went talked with Kylan. This was such an interesting conversation where they made an agreement. I think it was some agreement to like almost like a final three agreement, but they made an acknowledgement that they really aren't working with each other and that it would be disingenuous for either one of them to claim that they're taking the other one to the final two when they know they're not. I've never heard that on Big Brother before in my life. Yeah. Where it would be like me and you talking in the house and be like, Bobby, you're a good guy, but we know we're not going to take each other to the final two. Like, who says that?
We had that in Sequester. What are you talking about?
I know, right? Like, oh God. Yeah. I didn't understand that from either one of them, but God bless them for being honest about it.
Yeah, it
And
was
I know,
strange,
right?
very strange.
A lot of different scenarios. Again, it depends on who wins HOH. Like if we get a Hannah HOH, I think Tiffany's safe. If we get an Ozza HOH, I think Tiffany's probably safe, even with an Alyssa win. I'm still nervous. You see in the show Ozza's little things about having a crush on Xavier. But also like I think yesterday, like I can't remember what they were discussing, but like they were talking about some stuff game wise, and they didn't agree on everything. And then at the end, Ozza asked to cuddle with Xavier, and he declined. Yeah. So I'm hoping that she remembers that if she wins HOH on Thursday night. Yeah. And I know what happened. Oh, Ozza said to Xavier straight up, like, if I win HOH, I'm putting you up. If I win HOH, I'm putting you and Alyssa up. That's what I'm doing. And so I'm like, okay, like that's my girl. That's my girl. That's what I want to hear. Like, I mean, yeah, I want him sweating. I want him sweating this to have to sit on the block for a 5th time or a 4th time, whatever, however many times it's been. I'm sure Xavier can tell you how many times it's been. Keep in mind, one of the times he had to sit on the block was his own damn fault because he picked the veto penalty that it meant he had to sit on the block. So don't even come with me. And he got taken off the block at the end of the week anyway by the veto.
Exactly.
He didn't even have to sit there on Thursday night. Girl, bye.
And in my perfect world, for a double eviction, just so that we can get some kind of fun for the double eviction, is in some world where Hannah wins the HOH, Alyssa wins veto,
then Xavier's out.
And then we see Xavier hit the road. So
yeah, the
I think
really
that's best case.
The interesting HOH from my perspective is a Kyland HOH. I don't know what would happen then. Obviously, I think Alyssa goes up, but if Alyssa wins the veto, Ozza, Ozza and oh God, Ozza and Hannah. I don't know. Like, I don't think he'd put up either one of the boys. I don't think he put up Big D. I'm not sure. Yeah, I know, right? Zachary. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, exactly. That the little crack about the maybe it may not be something that you want to respond to, but yeah, I know that. I know that's true. Yeah. There's a reason why when the Zingbot did the thing about Ozza liking Xavier, he was like melting into the chair in the diary room. That's because he dates white women. I'm sorry, that's what he does. He dates white women. Yeah. And then by the way, Alyssa told us this week that while she is a woman of color and she is partly Hispanic, I'm pretty sure maybe it's the reverse. She's half white and half Hispanic. I think she puts down Hispanic. She put down Hispanic on her app, but she says white in real life. Something convoluted like that. God bless her. It's her own. That's hers to disclose. Whatever. I'm just saying that there's a reason why Xavier likes her and not Ozza, who to me is far better looking and is absolutely a fucking goddess. Like Ozza is like, and I love her little quirks in the diary room where she like winks at the camera. She's got so much personality, but like he's not all about that. He just likes some like quiet and dumb like Alyssa, I guess. Whatever. Yeah.
All right. So hopefully we get to see some kind of fun action-packed double eviction.
We've got possibilities. We got possibilities because Xavier's not playing for it. So that means we got Big D, and that would be a wild ride. Hannah, which would be fabulous. Alyssa, which would be heartbreaking. Ozza, which would be quizzical. And Kylan, which would be probably the best possibility if you're looking for good TV. Because I don't know what would happen then. But I don't think he would go after Tiffany. I think he keeps both X and Tiffany safe, which means he's probably putting up some combination of Big D, Hannah and Ozza. Yeah, Ozza. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we'll see. We've got lots of outs this week. We hopefully it's just not a predictable, wham bam done. But we've got another double eviction right around the corner, which could be very interesting come next week. So
just to be clear, they're doing a double eviction tonight, and they're doing another double eviction next week. But next week's show is a 2-hour show. So it's so bizarre. So I think what's going to happen next week is, so we thought they were going to do a triple. I don't think they're doing a triple. I think what they're doing is they're going to have Yeah, I think they're just doing a regular show for the first hour. So just be like a regular Julie Chen meets us for a full hour. We see, we see what happened during the week. And then at the end of the hour, there's a vote and somebody gets voted off and maybe we have a new HOH competition. But I think then going into the second hour, they surprise them and say, surprise, like it's, it's another double eviction and we're going right into another full week of Big Brother in 1 hour. What about that? I think that's how they're going to do it.
Well, and also the fact that they have never done 2 double evictions back to back like this, and on top of that, they're going to play out the entire episode, which usually the house guests know that if they're going into vote with only like 15-20 minutes into the episode, they know that something's up, that obviously there's something going on with this episode. It's probably a double eviction. If they do the full hour and they do everything they do like a normal episode, they'll have no idea it's coming. So I think that's why they want to surprise.
So Chevy Man is asking, how do we know that it's 2 doubles in a row? I'm confused. We don't know for sure, but we do know from the TV guide that next week's show is a 2-hour show. And last year for the 2-hour show, they had a triple eviction. So I can't imagine they're going to have a 2-hour show for a regular old episode. That seems
we
like
could be wrong. We could be
wrong.
This is our predictions, people.
The chat is telling me like it could be a clip show for the first hour, and then maybe the real show for the second hour. God, that would be disappointing.
I was going to say, she did. I was going to say, okay,
I missed that. I missed that part. I missed that part. I'm sorry. I missed that. I missed the last 5 minutes of the episode last week. So I missed the part where she said that. So she did say two doubles in a row. So Chevy, that's how we fucking know.
Okay,
I knew we knew.
That's how I was starting to go crazy. I was like, okay, I'm reading the chat here. Did I not?
I don't. I can't. Sometimes my TV cuts off the little end at the little thing at the end, and I miss it.
No, you're all good. You're all good. I just wanted to make sure I didn't sound like a dumbass.
Okay, cool. I think that's how they're gonna. I think they're gonna have a regular show for the first hour, and then surprise them for the second hour. Yeah.
All right, perfect. So Brent, anything else from this episode you want to get into before we hit the road?
I think it was pretty. Like, I mean, the episode was like. Let's be clear. Our podcast was great. The episode was shiitake mushrooms. It was absolutely terrible. Like the editing was terrible. I hated the choices that they made. I don't know why they're villainizing the black woman again on reality TV, but that's the choice that they've made to do instead and make the man the hero. Thank you so much for being fucking predictable, CBS. Fuck you. That's just kind of where I am right now with the show and what they're doing. So. I
also want to say that this season, I think that another reason why they want to push forward 2 double evictions are because we now know what's happened. We've gotten to the final 6. We finally got to the cookout. I think they want to speed it along and see what happens. They
so reverse though. We knew that's the thing. We knew what was going to happen the past 4 weeks.
100%.
Now we don't know what's going to happen. Where were these double evictions? So like, well, why couldn't we have a double eviction when fucking Sarah Beth was on the block? Why couldn't we do it then? We knew she was going home. We knew Brittany was going home. We knew Derek X was going home. Like, girl, bye. Like they fuck this up every year. It's so frustrating. Every year.
All right, so I think that's going to do it for this Wednesday's recap on reality NSFW. I think I speak for Brent and myself. I'm looking forward to what happens this week. We're finally getting into the stage of the game that we've been longing for so long, but it's finally here, people. We only have 1 more week.
Honest question. I don't mean to stop you, but honest question. Now that it's here, do we feel good about it? Because I don't really feel great about it. Like I want to celebrate the fact that assuming Alyssa doesn't win HOH or POV, that these 6 people have accomplished something that has never been done in reality TV. I kind of am less interested to see them break up. Does that make sense? And normally I'm excited for the big alliance to break up. But for this particular alliance, I'm like, I kind of just want it to be like a joint win and call it a win and go the fuck home. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm glad it happened. I think that it's awesome that it actually happened and it actually played out exactly how they wanted it to. I'm sad that it caused for the season to be a little lackluster to get to that point. And now that we're here, the people that I want to win, that I feel like played the best games, are the ones who are in the most trouble.
Yeah, they're in the worst position. Yeah,
that's
I am
what I'm
too.
worried about.
Yeah,
so
people.
If we're going to get here, I want my people to win.
Yeah, I think I said this before, because it's like sometimes I think about cute things and I'm like, oh, I should tweet that, but then I'm like, oh, maybe I should save it for the podcast. I don't know. But I was like, it's not very fun to watch people play for something bigger than themselves. I just want to watch them play for themselves. And these people in the cookout, somebody said, stop saying these people. I'm like, it's just, I've said these people for the last 6 years. That's how I talk about people. The people in the cookout have done an immaculate job of playing an incredible game that nobody has detected and literally ran circles around the entire house. But I want there to be a payoff. I'm looking for a bit of a bigger payoff, and I just feel like I'm not getting that right now. Maybe I'll feel better after the episode on Thursday night, because we're going to see a double eviction and something crazy is going to happen, and who knows who could go home at that point. So
also, one last thing. I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter and stuff saying that they're wanting Tiffany for America's favorite player. Honestly, I still feel like Derek X has that pretty locked up.
He has that locked up.
Casuals. We don't think there's any chance, right? I think it's definitely those two.
Yeah, I think it's those two, but I think he's got it locked up. Yeah.
I agree. I don't think Derek X has anything to worry about. I think he's got that locked up. As much as I love Tiffany and as great of a game she's played, Derek X is just too likable to pretty much everyone.
Yeah, I concur.
All right, so that's going to do it for us. We will be back this time next week. Oh, yeah.
Yes. I'm saying, just you guys, for real, if you can, thank you for all the tweets last week. I really appreciate it.
Yes,
if you can,
thank you.
If you can, once the show is over, just come back and leave a comment on the video, leave a like. You can leave a like on the video right now. I just want to try to get our analytics up a little bit and trying to so because people, they're always looking at, interacting with the show and that sort of thing. I know you guys watch, but I really want there to be some more likes and stuff. So like the video if you can, and come back and make a comment once it goes to its normal archive form. And okay, I won't interrupt you anymore.
No, absolutely. I appreciate you doing that. And I wanted to make sure I retweeted all those people that were praising us last week on Twitter and saying, how much they enjoyed the podcast. We really appreciate that. Any kind of publicity is amazing, because we want to be able to do this every single year. We want to be able to provide content for you guys. We just want people to know that we're here. We want people to be able to come and find us. And leaving a like, leaving a sub, and commenting on Twitter is just amazing. We really appreciate everyone. All right, so that's going to do it for this edition of Big Brother 23's coverage of Reality NSFW's coverage of Big Brother 23, excuse me. We're going to be back this time next week. We will be following the Wednesday's episode, and we will definitely see you guys next week. If you guys need to find us on Twitter, you can find Brent at OneLuckyGay. You can find me at Goodsby Bobby. For Brent, I'm Bobby. We will see you next week. Thanks.
Autumn is in the air, the pumpkins are in the patch, and our friends at Manscaped are here to make sure you don't carve your pants pumpkins when you're grooming, if you know what I'm saying. Make sure you're keeping things fresh this fall with the leaders in male grooming and their brand new 4th generation performance package. Boys, get ready for cuffing season like no other. Ready to take the leap into fall with Manscaped? Join the 2 million men worldwide using Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with promo code SURVIVOR.
Now listen, I have had my fair share of mishaps in the past, and going into Halloween, the guys like to dress scary, the girls like to dress inviting, and as a result, you're bound to get your pants down if you do things right. Well, you don't want a big bush down there. You want those things freshly trimmed, shaved so perfectly. Don't use a razor. Go to Manscaped. It's the only way, or you will not be getting treats, but only tricks.
It's time to bundle up with the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies.
First off, the new Performance Package 4.0 includes the new Lawnmower 4.0. And if you're looking to cozy up this fall, this trimmer is essential.
Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. It also gives you the ability to turn a 4,000 LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave, plus it's waterproof.
I hate shaving in the dark. That 4,000 LED spotlight, perfect. But the Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker to chop your worst weeds up top in your nose and ear. So you use the Lawnmower 4.0 for your rear, use this for your ears. This nose and hair trimmer uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual-blade system to provide proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps against nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes.
Seal the deal with Manscaped's liquid formulations, the crop preserver ball deodorant. Everyone knows pumpkin spice lattes and ball deodorant go hand in hand.
That's all they're talking about at Target these days. It's crazy. Then after trimming the pumpkin patch and whacking the leaves, give your balls a boost and use the Crop Reviver. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and Shed Travel Bag. You see me on the road, I have the Manscaped Shed Travel Bag with me everywhere I go. Get comfy on the home and on the go this season.
So get 20% off and free shipping with the code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com. Make your balls a priority this fall. Choose Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.
Promo code SURVIVOR. I've been trying to cut down on carbs, sugar, and unhealthy food and realize I basically can't eat anything anymore. I mean, I used to love eating that delicious cereal, but I can't. But wait, I can, thanks to Magic Spoon.
0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. That's only 140 calories a serving.
It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. Plus, build your own box. Available flavors to build your very own custom bundle are cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, cinnamon, cookies and cream, and my new favorite, maple waffle.
Magic Spoon just recently brought back 2 super popular flavors, cookies and cream and maple waffle, just like you're talking about, Johnny, permanently. When these flavors were first introduced for a limited time, they sold out extremely quickly. You should make sure to get these again and try them for the first time. They're delicious and indulgent.
Every morning I wake up, I look into my cabinets. All I have is Magic Spoon cereal. I have all the options, and I'm like, I'll do a little bit of I'll mix some cookies and cream with a little cinnamon, maybe cocoa and peanut butter. But oh man, that maple waffle just by itself is just something so spectacular. Hey, they're perfect not only for breakfast, but that guiltless midnight snack.
So go to magicspoon.com/survivor to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code SURVIVOR at checkout to save $5 off your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked.
Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/survivor and use promo code SURVIVOR to save $5 off. And thank you to Magic Spoon for sponsoring this podcast.